The Object Terror reboot came out in 2016. It is 9 years old, and it is the worst object show I have ever seen in my entire life. But is it actually that bad? Yes. I think to try and save some of you guys, the background footage of this video is not going to be Object Terror for the most part, unless I feel like it's necessary for a point. So, I don't know what the background footage is going to be at the time of recording this. I hope I made a good choice, but yeah, Object Terror came out in 2016. It's going to be 10 years old this year. Well, the reboot. It's actually even older if you look at the original version, but that one is just not funny. So I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, some of you may remember quite a while ago, I don't know how long ago now, over a year ago I think, for a special, I watched Object Terror. I watched episode 1 and 2, and I was gonna watch the rest of them, and I couldn't bring myself to watch it because I hate it. Object Terror only has 6 episodes, the last one of which is split into 2 parts, so it's episode 5, part 1 and 2. And, you know, the episodes are, 2 of them are 30 minutes, the rest of them are all like 16, 20-ish minutes, so it's really not that much content, but it's still too much for Object Terror. Object Terror was created by Lego Boy. I don't know how to pronounce the weird other letters in his name, but he now goes by Charlotte Hair, which is more easy to pronounce, and it's still active, not really on YouTube, but apparently on other websites like TikTok and at some point Red Note for some reason. Object Terror came quite the meme last year because of the wallet animations. I still can't believe Wallet looks like that. But we're not here to talk about those abominations, we're here to talk about a different abomination. Object Terror. When this show came out, I think a year or 2 after, I watched it. Little me when I was like 13, 14-ish, and I'm pretty sure I loved this show. I didn't really have standards back then, and I thought gore was really cool. I still think it's cool, but not that show. I actually rewatched episode 1 again for this video. Here's a short clip of me watching Object Terror 1. Man, I love Object Terror.
Hey Biscuit, I have a joke.
I don't care about your jokes. They aren't even funny.
No, this is totally funny.
I love this show so much.
What's the joke?
Why is your face so fat?
No, not this joke again.
That's
Because
funny.
you're retarded?
Oh. That's a slur. Okay. I don't think I like Object Terror, and I don't think I want to watch the rest of it, so I'm only gonna remember what happened in episode 1, and I don't really remember that much, so bear with me. Object Terror technically isn't the worst object show ever. There are shows that have worse animation, worse voice acting, worse jokes, but I think Object Terror is just a special combination of everything that is just horrible. Let me talk about the animation first. The animation is not horrible. It is fine, it doesn't hurt my eyes, but there's this thing that a lot of object show creators, not just Object Terror, did where they would kind of over-animate, especially in episode 1, where you'd have 2 characters, they'd be talking, but instead of, you know, how like a normal person is, they kind of just stand still and they might do a bit of hand movements, especially autistic people, they do a lot of hand actions to help convey things. But that's not what happens in Object Terror. They're just kind of spinning around and moving their arms up and down and doing way too much hand actions for such simple conversations. Like, maybe if you're trying to prove a point, you'd be using your hands to try and help you that, or if you're angry, you'd use your hands. But I think some of these just normal conversations, they just kind of move too much because you don't want your scene to be boring. In a better object show, though, dialogue just kind of carries it. Like HFJ1, there's a lot of dialogue in that show. It's a very heavily dialogue-based show, the characters might just sit there or stand there and they'll barely move and it'll be fine. I won't be bored because the things they're talking about are just that interesting. There are no interesting conversations in Object Terror. And the animation doesn't really help it. But again, it is the least bad thing about the show. I'm now going to talk about the characters of the show. There is not a single good character in this show. I can't even remember most of the characters because they're so boring or they're just annoying. There's a few characters that just kind of don't do anything. There's like Cactus and there's like a recycling bin. I don't remember who they are. They just kind of exist. But obviously then you have your iconic characters like Wallet, who, even in this show, is insufferable. His personality is just being edgy and saying, I'm going to kill you, and then he kill you. Good character. Really entertaining. He kind of gets bonus points though for kind of being the mascot of all of Object Terror, so he can be really funny in an ironic sense. But then you've got characters like El Nudello Spider, and Mint's monobrow or unibrow or something, I don't remember, man. And then there's Fart and Beep Boop, and none of these characters are funny. They are entirely here to be funny, and they're never funny. They do this thing, I think in episode 1, Beep Boop has like a text-to-speech voice, I think. I'm not rewatching the show, you can't make me rewatch it, I just watched it and I don't remember. But then in episode either 2 or 3, or hey, maybe even episode 1, I don't know anymore. His voice changes to the worst voice known to man, and I just have to mute the show. I should mute the show anyway. But the voice acting is horrible. I'll talk about that in a second though. The characters aren't funny. There's nothing interesting about any of them except for like the beer and trowel scene, you know, that famous scene where they make out, first ever gay people in an object show. I don't know if that's true. It could actually be. It's 10 years old almost, so who knows. But that scene was played as a joke. It wasn't meant to be, look at me, I'm progressive, I got gay people. It was a joke scene. And it's not funny, and it doesn't make me feel very comfortable when I do watch it. This is my Object Terror rant, by the way. I really like this show. Yeah, characters aren't funny, they're barely interesting, they all have one personality trait, and it's usually that they're funny and crazy, and look at this guy, he thinks he's so funny, and the other characters don't like him because he's not funny, but that's the joke. The host is boring too. Have I talked about the host yet? I don't think I have. This video's not even long, and I'm already forgetting everything I've said. Oh boy. Yeah, the host is boring. Computer, printer, who is he? He's a printer, I think, and then he builds computer, who's also got a horrible filter over his voice. Say what you want about post-split. At least I remember what happens in some of those episodes. I don't remember what happens in Object Terror, and I just watched it. Well, I watched the first episode again, I'm not watching the rest of it. Maybe if this video gets 200 likes, I'll go back and rewatch the rest of Object Terror. Hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully this video flops heavily, because who wants to watch a man cry over Object Terror? You probably have better things to do. But yeah, characters, they're bad. Now the voice acting, some of them aren't too bad. Like, I can handle the voice for some of the characters. Like, even, like, Stapler, I don't hate her voice. Bear and Trowel, I think, are fine as well. Host Sky Printer, how do I not remember what object he is? I just looked at him. He's fine, I think he's voiced by Lego. A lot of them are probably voiced by the creator, I didn't pay attention to the credits. But yeah, a lot of the characters' voices aren't that bad. And then there's El Nudello Spider, the funny joke character, and there's Mint, the funny joke character, and they just have absolutely horrendous voices. And then there's this one episode where I'm just gonna play the clip, and then you tell me what's wrong with the voice acting. But here it is,
But what's wrong. Why are you sad?
Likes me.
But that's not true. Who told you that?
Guys, can you hear what he's saying?
Well, the guy who bullies everyone and calls them stupid for
Do you
no
think he might be in an
Just stay
airplane?
away from him. He can be harsh sometimes.
Okay, we should stop him from bullying me.
I wouldn't consider it bullying since all he's doing is brag. He's such a sock puppet.
They had no time to, like, do anything else. They couldn't record. Oh my god. So it's actually multiple characters who kind of have this issue where they record their lines and you can just hear horrible background noise, which I don't know if they just didn't know how to do like noise reduction or background noise removal. I'm gonna assume they didn't, but yeah, for the character Cup, I was told this ages ago, they recorded his lines over a Skype call. So it was, you are on a Skype call and then you hold your like microphone up to the monitor or, like speaker or whatever, and that's how they recorded it. So they just couldn't salvage it. I'm just like, they couldn't, like, there was no other way to do it. You couldn't get someone else. But like, yeah, a few of these characters have this issue of background noise, but oh my god, Cup had it the worst. Or Mug, I don't know what his name is, I don't care. But going back to find the clip, I remember more characters, like Plug, forgot he existed, annoying voice. Skittle, annoying voice. It's just high-pitched again because we're gonna know how to do two voices, I guess. Annoying as hell, or just normal voice. And also, when I'm trying to get the Cup clip, wow, Wallet's personality. He's evil. Okay, well, that's about it for the voice acting department. I don't want to talk about it that much anymore. But, yeah. Have I talked about the jokes? Probably. The jokes kind of just boil down to character insults other character and character cries. Or gay makeout scene. So, in conclusion, I don't like Object Terror. And every time I watch it, it makes me sad. There's a few comedic things that I can find in it, like the voice acting, when it comes to the background noise, that's kind of funny. Sometimes the overly edgy humor gets a laugh out of me, like characters just explode into blood and guts, that's kind of funny sometimes. Lego's like self-insert Club Penguin OC just appearing in an episode's kind of funny. That's really it though. It's not great, but, you know, there are, to some people, worse object shows out there. And I agree that there are some other shows that are truly terrible, and maybe I should talk about those. Next time I talk about a terrible object show, I think we're gonna have to talk about Level Up, and I'm excited to revisit that one, because I'm pretty sure it's like 3 episodes long, at most. So, we're gonna be talking about that one. Also, someone said Clash to be Champions. I never watched that show, but maybe I will. Without supporting the creator because he's racist. But yeah, thank you. I watched Object Terror again. Please don't make me watch it more. It's a bad show, but I don't think I ever wanted to be good, because if Object Terror was a normal object show, I don't think it would be remembered. There are so many object shows that are just a bunch of characters competing for a thing, and they're all boring. So, I like Object Terror the way it is, but saying that, it's not good. That's all I'm gonna say.